2022 Parent-Student Information Night. Tonight is really going to focus on our incoming 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. We're going to have information regarding the upcoming school year and registering for classes. The first thing on the list tonight is transfers. Transfers are going to work like they did last year. They will be online. Beginning April 1st, you may go to the EHS website and put in your application for transfers. It will then close on April 30th. If you're a returning student, the only documents we'll need is attendance and discipline. If you're a new student, we'll need attendance, discipline, grades, and state testing. As April 1st approaches, please feel free to reach out to Ms. Guerra at the number below, and she'll be able to assist you with any questions. The next thing we want to talk about are credit expectations. When you received your report card through HACC at the end of this semester, if you passed a class, you should have seen 0.5 as earned credit for each course that you passed. If you did not, that must mean that you might have loss of credit. We'll discuss that on the next slide. But here, let's talk about credit expectations. In order to be a 9th grader, you must accumulate 0 to 5.5 credits, a 10th grader 6 to 11.5, a junior 12 to 17.5, and a senior 18 or more credits. Many students realize that if they go through school a year, that they should be promoted to the next class. But what happens in high school that's different than elementary and middle is you have to earn the credit in order to be considered the next grade level. So please look at your report card and make sure you earned credit for all of your classes. The next thing is a 140 rule. When passing a class, let's say you had a tough semester and you received a 63 in one of your courses this past semester. You still have the opportunity to earn credit for the entire course. But with that 63, this semester, you would have to get a minimum of a 77. Those two added together would equal 140, and then you could get credit for the course. So please, if you didn't pass any classes, subtract that number from 140, and it'll let you know what you need this next semester in order to get credit for the entire year for the course. As stated, let's now talk about loss of credit. On your report card, if you looked and you saw that you earned credit or you passed the class for the semester, but you didn't get credit, this might mean that you have loss of credit. At that point, please reach out to your assistant principal so they can assist you to see if you had loss of credit. State rule says that every student must be in every class 90% of the time. In order to do that, you have to make sure that you're attending classes. Absences do occur, we understand, and excused absences are the best ones to have on your plate. Now, if you're out and you go to a doctor's appointment, please bring a doctor's note, because a doctor's note is a golden ticket and it is an absence that will not count against you. Let me give you an example. Let's say this fall semester you had 8 absences and all 8 absences had doctor's notes. Well, you would not be counted as any absences against you at all because you had doctor's notes for all of those absences. Now let's say you had 8 excused absences. You were sick 8 times. Your parents called you in. The fall semester allows 7 absences. If you have 8, you're 1 above the threshold. That must mean that you will have to make up time for 1 class period in order to receive credit for that course. Now for the spring semester or current semester, you're allowed up to 10 absences for classes. Once you go beyond the 10, then you will have to make up time. Our next thing to cover is GT students. GT works a little differently than it did in the elementary and middle school areas. For GT students, you must be enrolled in a pre-AP, AP, or dual credit course in order to receive GT services or to be coded GT. Now let's say as you enter high school or one year you're having a tough year and you decide not to enroll in one of these types of courses, you can be furloughed for a year. What will happen then the following year, if you do not enroll in a pre-AP, AP, or dual credit course, you will exit that program. If you have any questions regarding that, you can call Mary Truesdale at 434-4050. Okay, now let's start getting into course selection. February 3rd, we're going to look at doing course selection for our students throughout the day. So some things you need to take into consideration when you're doing your course selection. Make sure you're reviewing your career plan and you don't double up on any credits. That means you took a course, you passed it, and then you sign up for the same course. Because what will happen is you will not get credit for that course the second time around. Make sure that you're using the course registration card to assist you with your course selection, and we'll review that in just a bit. Know your pathway or your course of study. Choose courses within your pathway. Make your schedule choices based on your need. You'll need to get approval from coaches for sports. And make sure, most importantly, you're having a conversation with your parents about your course selection. What we ask you not to do is take a class because your friend's taking the class, or once again, don't retake a class you already have credit for. Now, just to make sure everybody understands how classes are set up at Eastwood High School and how they become a part of a master schedule. We have a lot of kids that ask for different types of classes, but sometimes we don't have enough enrollment in each course to make sure that the class makes. So we need a minimum of 18 students registered in order for a class to make. If we don't have that amount of students, we have to dissolve the class and give that period to a course that needs more support. Course request on your request sheet doesn't guarantee that you're going to receive that course. Sometimes there's conflicts in scheduling, or as we said above, the class just doesn't make. Balancing of classes will occur, and that means that you may see that you have one teacher at the beginning of the school year, and then you're moved to another. We try to make it as equitable as possible for teachers, so they all have about the same load of students when they're working throughout the year. We do not take any teacher requests. And lastly, for our incoming freshmen, we sometimes ask for an advisory or EOC course to be scheduled for students if they need extra support. Schedule changes. As we proceed into the next school year, this is when schedule changes will happen. If you realize or your counselor realizes you've already taken a course, we will get you out of that course and give you another course that you need. If you didn't pass a prerequisite for a course, then you cannot be in that current course you registered for. You never asked for a particular class, or you need a higher level than what was given to you, we'll make that schedule change for you. Or if there happens to be you ended up with 6 classes instead of 9, we'll make sure that we get those classes scheduled for you. What we won't make schedule changes are you giving the statement that you don't see how the course is going to help you in your future, because pathways have different courses and those classes need to be taken in order for the endorsement to be met. Or the class or your schedule is too hard due to you wanting the same class as one of your friends, or because you want a different teacher. We won't make changes for those reasons. On January 13th, we had an academic elective and athletic fair where some of our teachers were able to describe what their classes contained, what you would be doing, to see if that would be something that would interest you. Please use the YouTube link below and you can review this elective fair to make some decisions on which electives you would like to take. We also have some things on our school website that are going to help you with your registration. I'm going to go through where you can find them on our website in just a little bit, but if you would like to use the QR code right here, there's the Academic Planning Guide, which gives you information on all courses that we have. And at this point, let me show you where you can find that on our Eastwood website. So if you go to our Eastwood website, and you will find the link on 2 slides after this one, you will be able to go in, and you can also find our academic planning guide there. Under our school, go to the tab that says Academic Planning Guide. We have our current planning guide, and we have our 2021-2022 academic planning guide. And you can see all the courses that we offer this way or through the QR code that was attached to the PowerPoint. The other thing that I wanted to show you on our website are, with our elective fair, our teachers also created some Weebly pages or some of their own web pages where you can find out about their courses. So if you go under athletics and clubs and go to clubs and organizations, you're going to see a sheet with all of our academic clubs and organizations. And you can click on any one of these that's highlighted, and you can go to their Weebly page or their website and find out more information. For example, here is one with Folklorico, and it gives you information from Ms. Vargas, our sponsor. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about is our registration course card. All students are going to have access to this. You'll get one with each of your teachers. You can use this QR code in order to look at it, but I'm also going to give you a closer look because it's going to help us with the next part of this with our registration. So if we look at the course guide, as it loads, this is exactly what yours will look like. When you see the things that are highlighted in green, this is going to reference a number in the Hack Center where you're going to do your registration, and it's going to help you be able to find those courses so much easier. So you're going to see this green code, and I'll reference it when we get there, and then this is the course code you're going to look for. If a course isn't on this card, then Eastwood High School is not offering it. So if you sign up for it and it's not on this card, we won't be offering it, and we will not be able to put you in the class. So in talking about the registration process, I talked to you about the elective fair, how you can get to the academic planning guide, either using the QR code or going to our website, and your registration card. And here is the Eastwood High School link. So the registration this next year is going to work totally different, and it's going to work through the Hack Center. So here's a link for the Hack Center, but I'm going to go in there and I'm going to show you how it's going to work. So you're going to sign into your Hack Center. You're going to go to Classes. And when you go to Classes, you're going to see 4 tabs up here. The first one I suggest you go to is your career plan. Because on your career plan, you're going to be able to see every class that you've taken up to current time. And this will help guide you. If you don't remember, did I take that Spanish class or not take that Spanish class? You can go back and look and make sure that you're not repeating a course as we have stated before. Once you've done that, you're then going to go to your request. And using your guide, your course registration card, you're going to start registering for your classes. So I'd go to Advanced English, and I know that I've already taken English 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to take an English 4 course. I've decided I'm going to take English 4 dual credit. So I click on that, I hit save, and then there's my course requests. Now, let's say I go home and my mom says, you struggled a little bit this year. Let's not take that English 4 dual credit course. I can go in here and edit. Sorry, I'm going to click on the class that was there. Close that. That shows what class it is. Hit edit. I'm going to take the check mark off and hit save, and that gives me a clean slate again. If you chose to take a different English class, you could just uncheck the one you didn't want here, check the one you want, and hit save. So that's how registration is going to take place this year. It's going to save a lot of time, and it's going to give students the ability to make changes to their courses up until February 19th. On February 19th, after that date, we will be closing the process, and you will not be able to make a change unless you contact your counselor. Here is the information for all the counselors if you have questions or concerns. And if they don't know the answer, they can direct you to the correct person who does. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. We wish you a safe and healthy week.